Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Do you want to know what it is? You can feel it when you go to work, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Is the truth, nothing more.
It's a wrecking machine.
Exposing the truth. And Israel teachers that teach this false doctrine of the book of Enoch is what we're going to focus on. We need to focus on more so the doctrine than what people want to focus on the teachers. Because the container that brings this doctrine to you is the ones that's actually showing you completely from what the truth actually is. So we have to continue because people have came as we continue when we teach what we had taught last week. We left it open for a while and no one would come in. However, we had two women that did this. They want to come in afterwards. So they were saying and trying to tell me what wasn't the truth based on Enoch. So they was trying to show differences. And many people was telling me even last week how, we was matching the angels where they had 19, one was missing. And they was saying it was 20. See, Enoch was before Moses. However, much of the book, as I even said last week, and I even showed you, it was written within a Greek slang to it, where they was using Greek terminology in doing it, but it was using a difference between Ethiopian in Greek. They was using Greek terms, but they was using it in Ethiopian. See, nevertheless, many will hold to still that this book is real and it's not. So when you even look at angels, and I was texting a gentleman, brother on, he was actually on the channel afterwards, where he did some research himself, and he came up with a couple of 100 feet different. So it was kind of ironic, it's just kind of funny, to where the thousands he got correct and I had correct, but we had a difference between the hundreds. He had 11,000, I think 230, and I came with 11,900. 11,000 was correct. Still, me and him can discuss the, where he pulled his from, where I got my information from. However, the height is still is unreal. But I do appreciate one thing that brother did. He actually went and did research to check out the matter. I have to give him his credit there. But what we want to do, we want to see what went on with these two women. See, they want to post in there, and one was saying one thing and one was saying another. So we have a Lucy Ryan and a Tamika Willis, and they was trying to tell people to where things that was in Enoch was proving a point. But I'm going to prove the point and show you the differences on what they did. Because we're going to show you what's going on and show you, in one saying even the lost books, the Enoch and everything. But this is why I said I'm not done yet. See, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting all those books to rest. Meaning I'm going to be doing Enoch. I'm going to finish Enoch out today. But he had too much junk in there to where we have to do what we need to do. However, the other part is I'm going to go into the book of Jubilees as well as the book of Jasher, and I'm going to show you. So the same as this Lucy Ryan, she said they do not teach other gods. Now, this is what she clearly said when you clearly heard both of those teachers said gods, and they was talking about angels as gods. So she clearly here is lying. But she's saying they don't teach that. And then she said, you are being disingenuous. No, she is being disingenuous, because if she go back and she look at the video of what they were saying, that Watchman was sitting there saying that they were gods, as the same thing which Ricard was doing with GOCC. And it says, more than likely, you do not understand the book of Enoch or know the contents of the mixing books. So again, she's talking about something that she don't have no knowledge of, but she's speaking on it. So, and then she actually have a couple of people who actually agree with it, which is stupid within itself. However, Tamika Willis, it says, this is true, my sister. They never fully read the book. So I'm going to show you when you don't know who you know. See, because when you come to people and saying what somebody haven't done, you don't know what work they have done or how they have studied. Because as you saying, but let's also understand that Enoch written for a specific group of people. Yes, it is for people who go into hell. But however, we're going to move forward. People in spiritual, not only that the Messiah is mentioned by Enoch in numerous times, and the Messiah quotes Enoch, which we're going to dig into all this. Excuse me. And must do as he commanded in Hebrew. We're going to go into that. And must believe the testament of Enoch. The same words used when the Messiah says, you must believe in the testimonies, which are the witness account written down, same as Enoch. And I don't know, she just might have did a misspelling there. And other books were called to be testimonies. So this is what she was putting in here to try to sit there to say, how much she is into the book. But as we continue, I responded to her, and she said, I'm still trying to see where the book of Enoch offends you. It offends my God, it offends me. However, it because talks of angels, same in scripture, due to KJV, the Messiah quotes him, which is a lie, but we're going to get into it, speaks of the Messiah. So we're it in the scriptures that Enoch is not credible. See, we're not saying Enoch is not credible. We saying Enoch, that's not his book. So you need to understand how you forming your language, because nobody never said Enoch was not in the book. We saying Enoch, the book of Enoch, is a false book. But let's move forward. It says, or I must tell me where can I find the testimony of Enoch, because according to he said he pleased God, but that's in Hebrews, but that's okay. And according to the books of Hebrews, we must believe on it. Now again, testimony is used to throw scripture meaning the same. We wasn't to believe Abraham, nor Isaac, nor Jacob testimony first, but Enoch. So please tell me, where can I find it, since you know the testimony that's out, isn't it? See, so we see how she's doing this, but watch what happened. So I said, Tamika Willis. You know that I don't say sister, but Tamika Willis. For some reason, truth escapes you. First off, one can write a book afterwards, making it look like Yahweh Shai quotes from me, which anybody can do that. Anyone can write a book right now and use quotes from there and then date it back in BC, 20 BC, and say he quoted from this book, and I guarantee you'll get some people to believe you. 2, Hebrews 11:5, by faith Enoch was translated. He died, that he would not see death, not see the second death, and was not found because God has translated him, killed him before he was translated. He had this testimony, and here's the testimony, that he pleased God. That was the testimony. That's it. Nothing more. He pleased God. Nowhere you see it in the Bible. Well, in the Bible somewhere. Actually, I did a miss thing there. If you truly believe the book is scripture, which makes the Most High God of Israel look like a freak, which it does, which he's not, it's better you find a channel that supports your belief. And that's normally what I will do. I will tell you to go find another channel that supports your belief. But she didn't finish there. She went on. She went on to say some other things. She said, let me start by saying this following. No, I follow no man. Okay, again, we didn't say anything. Ain't nobody told her about that. But this shows you how we have people with a Christian mindset. What they do, they try to throw you to, and they try to bring up another subject, which nobody never said follow no man. I follow no man. So telling me to find a support system that stems off of belief. So no, what you're doing, you're finding the support system that had the same belief you're doing. You're not following the man. All you guys had the same belief. That's all I was saying. So second, show me where he looks like a freak in the book of Enoch. 11,900 foot tall angels. But let's move on, because it gets really worse. Because last week was really cool, but you're gonna see this week it's get way worse. Because again, if you're saying it makes him look like a freak, then why did he speak of the Messiah who do he say everything concerning us and our enemies, your carnal thinking, and carnal is death. We are commanded to worship in spirit and truth, see the problem is nobody's understanding the book. All teachers are not teachers, and you have elders and men who tell you what to say. Ain't nobody told me what to say, which going to lead you to death. Enoch is a spiritual book and speaks of angels, same as King James Bible version does. From Genesis to Revelation, where does the freak come in at? So now we can see the silliness, because we're going to see even more silliness on how she is. But watch what happens. And the reason why I'm doing this is because these people didn't step out. But then after we talk, then they want to post. That's the silliness. So since you want to post, we're going to put your post before everybody. So it says angels eating people. That's freaky. Growing the heights to 11,900 feet tall. Being freaky. Naming mountains before they even named. Freaky. Creating names only used in the book, like pregnant. It's nowhere else. Freaky. I can keep going like this, but many of their names were Greek also. So the Most High said, well, I'm going to name them Greek, and because Greek going to be kind of the thing going on. But watch this. It says, I'm sorry, just getting your message. I'm not sitting waiting for emails back and forth. So again, my apologies for my response delay. And let me see you say that's freakish stuff in Enoch. Cool. Can you tell me if a freak in scripture, when Moses talked about the height of Deuteronomy, and it's a freak, when Moses talked to the king of Bashan, it freak when Joshua said they were like grasshoppers. So I guess the KJV is speaking freak, huh? Or is it freak how the Messiah were born of the Holy Spirit? So we can see she got issues as we read. Or wasn't the spirit before flesh? So again, my brother, no, we're not brothers or sisters. You Tamika Willis and I'm Michael. And my brother, spiritual battle, I'm not going to help you sin on the matter. You have no understanding. So I'll digress and cause my strife. And if I cause any strife, no, you just showing your intelligence. But let's go other subject. And I'm not in the business of battling nor fruitless discussions. So shalom, my brother. No, and we can move on. So again, it's not my sister. So because the ones who believe in Yahweh is my brothers and sisters. So with this here, she's just another person. So this is where your problem becomes and the issues happen. Meaning what? She has this delusion and is showing you proof of actually what we said. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. For this cause, God should send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. This is what they believe. They believe in something that is not there. That is not there nowhere. However, as they continually believe in this, they have the problem and really believe that this book of Enoch is real. Why? Because this is the issue. This is the issue here. Because it said, for the mystery of iniquity, for the mystery of sin doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. What does this mean? Only he who letteth. So the mystery is something which surpassed everything. So it's comprehensibility of a human reasoning. The mystery. This is what we're saying. This is what we're talking about. So the very thing which allows you to think or to deliberate within your mind, you see the connection between the propositions that draw proper interference or a truth. So this here is saying the mystery of iniquity. Sin is already planted and is grown within them. In fact, it has grown and its fruits in her that's showing that what she believed, which is not true, she believes is true. So here's the worst part. When you look at only he who letteth will let. So she sat and watched this false doctrine. She sat and listened to false doctrine. She sat and wanted to understand what was going on. Now she have a true belief that she really think that that is true, and it's not. See, it's something, as something can continually be told to you time and time and time again, even though it's not true, you're going to come to believe it. It's the same as, you know, Trump will sit there and tell a bold-faced lie in public, right on television. He know he's lying. Everybody around him know he's lying, but he has said so much, people will start believing the lie. All you got to do is say it long enough. This is what happened. So look at it this way. We're gonna look at, so you have trees, you have flower, you have grass. So all will grow in the wind that blows upon it. As even Peter said, for all flesh is grass. So all glory of man is at the flower of grass. So however, grass going to wither, the flower is going to fade away. Now, what do we have here? So if we know that they will fade away and dying, so you tell me the grass is going to fade, the flower is going to fade. Tell me, where do the wind go? Do the wind die? No. That's the same understanding that you need to understand when he talks in those matters, because we need to completely understand what is happening all the time. But the word of the Lord endureth forever, same as the wind. And this is the word which by the message, the gospel, is preached unto you. So everything else will die, but the word which is being compared with the wind is being endured forever. Meaning this, for the mystery that the people and other people fool them into believing a lie, letting themselves believe a lie, will also die also. Not only with the flesh, but the spirit will die also. The reason by the Most High God is going to take them out of the way. People really believing the Most High God is creating something that he has actually no control over. That's what's happening here. So he gonna have no control over, but he's God. So for example, if you see who have control over a situation that he created. So we need to see examples of this. We need to look at some examples. If he have control over Satan. Because other than that, it won't make no sense. Because we have what they saying in Enoch, angels came down and they continued and they started doing crazy things. They started lusting and taking over flesh. And the Most High had no control over this. Because they grew to unreal heights and they started eating people and everything. So we need to see, do the Most High have this kind of control? We need to find out, do he have control to where he can control this as well as people? Because if he can't, then he's not God. So we need to look at an example with this. We need to understand what's happening here. And let's look at this. In Job, it says again, there was a day when the sons of God, men, came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Wow. So we see here where these men, not angels, these men came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also. Came among them, to present himself before the Lord. So they came and he came. So let's see, do the Most High have control over Satan? See, because we got to see who's stronger, flesh or spirit. See, spirit is who you're going to speak to first. That's Satan. So he going to ask Satan where he coming from, and Satan just lets him know he just rolling around, taking people out one by one. See, but watch what happens here, and we're going to look at this, and we're going to start understanding some things as we go. Because look at what he said. And the Lord said unto Satan, "From which comest thou?" Wow. First one. Why you didn't talk to the men? Talk to Satan. He said, and Satan answered the Lord and said, "Oh, going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. I've been knocking people off and taking names." This is what. So we understand where Satan coming from, because this is Satan, what he does. So as Satan is roaming the earth, Satan is testing and testing and testing to see who he can devour. The same as Adam and Eve was in the wilderness, the same as soon as Yahweh the Spirit went on him, the first thing the Spirit did is took him right into the wilderness because he had to test this product. But here, Satan wavered. Really, yeah, he wavered. Because we're going to see something, because the Most High got to explain something to him. You have to explain something to him. Because watch what he says here. And the Lord said unto Satan, "Hast thou considered my servant Job?" Hey, Satan, I know you've been busy, but have you considered Job? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and eschewed evil. It's a question mark. And eschewed evil, question mark. But we ain't teaching on that today. So we're going to move forward. And still he holdeth fast to his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. So the Most High God even asking him, "Hey, have you considered him? Have you thought about Job? You've been walking up and down the earth, and you see all the people that you're able to do, but have you considered this one man? He's upright, fear of God." But watch when you see the although. See, you got to watch the although. See, when you see that although, thou movest me against him. See, most people overlook although. See, and only given an understanding because it has a sub point there where he's saying although. See, that's the sub point that he's going to put in. See, this is independent upon the previous statement, which sometimes can be very complex, but it's a sub point that was being made. Because you see what all he said. He's perfect, upright man, fear of God, eschewed evil. Put a question mark. Hold it fast to his integrity. Although Satan, hold up, although you move me against him. So the main point of the previous reason of the statement, such as his servant Job. So saying is none like him in the earth, perfectly upright. But a question mark. Hold it fast. So God tells Satan, you're going to move me against him to destroy him without a cause. You moving me against this man to destroy him without cause. So Satan says something very particular to the Most High. Satan, as most people miss, Satan has a good conversation. And Satan answered Yahweh and said, "Skin for skin. Yea, all that a man have will he give for his life." Skin for skin. Skin for skin. What is Satan saying here? We need to dig into that, because when he said skin for skin, all Satan is saying to cause what happened to Job's fleshly body, the skin is used as a shelter, as a tabernacle. It is a temple, belongs to the Most High God. It's the tent, the covering. But people make them synagogues. Understand, you're making your skin a synagogue for Satan, the gathering place for Satan to reside. See, and same as they said, even in the Bible, where we sit there and look and say, in the Most High, and they burn down the Most High temples. See, and he never rebuilt this synagogue again. Not the physical ones that you can see. Anything that was called by his name. So to make the difference, see, God lives in temples, not in buildings that made with hands. So you see people mimic temples, physical buildings. However, he don't reside in buildings that made with hands. So this too was Job missing. Job was missing this. How was Job missing this? Because as we miss this stuff, we have to understand how this all works. Because what one thing said, Yahushua said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Clear. It's clear. So Yahushua was speaking of his body in the flesh and blood. See, but the covering on what he was talking about, you tear down this temple, which is visible, I will raise up the invisible, proving the point. So, or the illusion is this. See, we believe all we have in the earth, and it's nothing, everything created from the dust of the earth, created into skin. So this is what Satan wanted to challenge. Are you following me? See, Satan can only destroy the flesh, not the spirit. So physical is not spiritual. But if Satan can destroy your mind into believing what you see, he can destroy things you cannot see. Did we understand that? See, because all he had to do is destroy the mind. Once he destroyed the mind, you can see the things he can destroy in front of you. Now he can destroy things that you cannot see. So we can destroy the physical, and then you can destroy the spiritual also. So this is what Satan did to tear down many people before. How? We're going to look at this in Psalm 74:7. It says, and they have cast down fire into thy sanctuary, and have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. So they have done this to play a mind game on you. Nothing more than voodoo at a higher level. So it's the same as people will make dolls and put pins in it to make you think physically they can hurt you with this voodoo doll that they can stick pins in. However, if you believe it, then it's true in your mind and you're destroyed. But they can destroy buildings, making you think everything is over. Yahushua was saying, destroy this temple and he will raise it up in 3 days. He is not thinking about the building as many as do here today, because all they have to do is defile and cast it down. In the name of the Most High God, name only had to be on it. And then you will believe that his dwelling place is destroyed. That's the mind game. The Most High God don't dwell in places made with hands. He tells you this continually in his Bible. However, we sit there and let the mind game get you. The building is nothing more than a schoolmaster showing you how it dwells. Meaning what? This is why that where the so-called temples of God is not God. Meaning the house of God is in you. So we got to go a little bit deeper. This is when you truly understand, and when you know, when it says Christ is in the Father, in you, in Christ in you. This is when you understand that no one can burn it down to the ground. But in the mind, you can watch something get destroyed. In the mind. Why? Because if we can destroy the mind, I can destroy you. Meaning what? See, they say in their hearts, let us destroy them all together. They burnt up all the synagogues of God in the land. That's all they had to do. This is all they had to do. And they can break your mind down. This is the problem. This is the problem today. And then what they do, they feel they can tear down the physical and they can destroy your spiritual. This is why you think when they was hanging us from trees and burning us. See, Gentiles are not here to play games with many of us. Let's look at it this way. You see, the same thing that they did here, they would take this, the same as they destroying us physically, they try to destroy your spiritual mind. So they take people, and you can even see how they gather around as they burn people, and that's Israel, and they gather around and take pictures. If they can destroy you physically, they're trying to destroy your spiritual self. So it gets more to where they hang you from a tree and they will burn you. See, these are things that they don't want you to even know, or they try to tell you to blind your eyes to what these were. This was our forefathers doing it. No, this is just back in the 1900s. And not only this, they even used to send out postcards as that, where they burned up and they take pictures and they sit there, and you see right there, this is the barbecue we had late night. My picture is to the left with the cross over it in your son Joe. They used to send these out to let you know, to destroy the temple of God. So if they can destroy you physically, they want to destroy some of us spiritually. And then they can't too much go this direction too much more, but now they're destroying you with these books. See, and the first thing people want to do is tell you we need to move forward. See, the same thing is if you've seen things like this here, and then you go tell a Jewish person the same thing as that, they'll sit there, they'll shut down whatever you have. But they'll tell you to move forward. Because they're trying to destroy not what's in the physical, they're trying to destroy your spiritual self. And many of us are destroyed, like to Mika Willis and that Lucy lady. So what they try to do is change the outcome. So the word stands forever, period. Because if you watch a man being killed and burned, you have to remember these things are still floating around in these family members' houses. It don't change. See, and people sit there and say, well, no, this is showing racism. No, it's not. See, what you're doing is showing what Gentiles are really about. But what we want to sit there and still hold to a Gentile and still think that they won't do this. If they willing to do this to try to destroy the physical to get inside your spiritual and think they can take over your God, this is what they do. And think nothing about it. Think nothing about it. So we need to understand why this happened. So when you see this doing this, they're not there to play games, but they put the illusion from the truth, and they sit there, and that's why Satan says skin for skin. Skin for skin. This is what's happening. Skin for skin. So when you understand it, he said, but put forth thy hand and touch his bone, his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. You put that flesh and bones on the line, and I guarantee you he'll curse you to your face. All we have to do is put this problem and put it there in front of them, and I guarantee you many people will fold over and they'll curse you to your face. This is what they do. This is what happens. showing you the tactics that they'll do, skin for skin. But if you push a person to curse God and put him on the spot, then you're going to find out that's what Satan was actually saying. So before one let it happen to you, whatever, see, when someone sit there, put you on the line, you curse God to his face. So now they sitting there, they didn't destroy you so badly, they can put books before you and make God look like a freak. Destroyed you. Not physically, but already mentally. You already destroyed. So here's the problem. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, you're going to test him. He is in thy hand. But only, see that save, that's all it means, only, but save his life. You can do everything, but so who had control? Satan or the Most High? Who had control? The Most High. Because Satan had to get permission. That's why Satan had to talk to him. So this is what we see, who's in control. Satan was never in control, but showing you what? Being in the land where many will see the things that their forefathers has done in these pictures and events. Again, you see these so-called angels did not get clearance until they can get clearance from God. So they got clearance to do this from who? From their father, Satan. So you never see nowhere in the Bible where anything other than Gentiles and all those, you never see where he says, these are not your enemies. See, you have people who will be cool with you. That's cool. But you'll never see it in there where they say they will no longer be your enemy. Nowhere. Nowhere. And then we have people who's endorsing to put you more into their thing, because I know the Watchman, he endorses that Sefer Bible that actually have you running right to him. See, but we do know the first thing. So as we know, these angels didn't get clearance from God. So, and then to become flesh, and then they had sex with flesh. These things that was unreal, that's all the Bible about. We have to see what's going on, because even God took credit for things that the book of Enoch says that happened in there. So Enoch is contradicting the Bible, or the Bible is contradicting Enoch. One of the two. Because even Enoch said that sin came into the world and it wasn't through Adam. But the Bible says it did. Let's look at this. Let's look and see how this all works out, because this is the problem. And I answered, then said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, not saying the angels, to Adam, or else was when he was given him to have restrained him from sinning. So Adam was given the earth, but he said it would have been better he would have restrained him from sinning. However, another, for what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? Meaning what? Because you're going to sin unto death, you're also going to have another punishment coming on your second. That's second death. That's second death. But we have these half-breed angels, which we're going to find out a little bit something that's really weird. It says, "O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned." Really? Thought it was the angels. We're going to look at that. We just getting all the facts together, showing these sisters, oh, I do my homework. But I'm gonna show you that they don't. Thou art fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. So we know clearly Adam, but we're gonna get some more clarity. Let's get more clarity on this. 1 Corinthians, and it says, "For since by man came death," by man, it don't say by angel. For it don't say, for since by angel came death, because it don't say that. It says by man. By man. By man came also the resurrection of the dead. Well, I tell you what, we'll let them hold. We're going to give them that. So we'll say that man, because they're going to say they was half man, half angel. Let's give it to them. We'll give them that. For by man. We'll say by angel. Or they like to use Nephilim. Let's give it to them. So I'm going to give you that. So then explain this. For as in Adam, all die. So was Adam an angel? Even so in Christ, all shall be made alive. So even if you use that one by man and talking about an angel, why is it saying Adam in verse 22? This is the problem. And then they want to sit there when they go into the book of Enoch, which we're going to look at, they want to sit there and talk about Azazel who taught sin. We're going to see the silliness that's going on. It says in Enoch 10:8. Now, for Tamika and Lucy, grade me. I was an A student in school. Grade me. I'm an overachiever. Grade me. And let's see how well I did my homework. The whole earth has been corrupted through the works that was taught by Azazel. Really. To ascribe all sin, that the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that was taught by Azazel. To him ascribed all sin. Wow. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Because the whole earth was corrupted by Azazel. But here's why we have a problem. Because the book of Enoch, one of us lying. Because if Adam fell to sin in the time, so we have to do an overview and see what's going on. So let's look at the overview, and we're gonna do this. So we're gonna keep it there. Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image God created he him, male and female created he them. Genesis 1:27. So we know he did this here. But let's move further. Down to Genesis 2:7. And the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Are you with me? So let's check a little bit more. Look at Genesis 5:1. It says, and this is the book of the generations of Adam, not the angel, but the day that God created man in the likeness of God made he him, and did what? Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. In that day they were created. Are you with me? So male and female, and he called them. So Adam sinned in chapter 3. Where we can physically see it, where he sinned. But let's look at the book of Enoch and let's see what's going on. So now, here's where we're going to run into some problems. We got a whole lot of problems. Get ready to go down. So we're going to look at the book of Enoch again, 6:6. And it says, and they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon, and called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn, bound themselves by mutual imprecation upon it, and they were all 200 who descended in the days of Jared. And I think I put this in there twice. I might have put that, but I think you got it in there twice, because that's book of Enoch. But anyway, but it does say that, but it looked like you put it in there twice. But here go the problem. We're going to look at a couple of things I want you to focus on, to where we're going to understand English writings. So when it says right there, it says they were all 200. Got that? Check. It says who descended in the days of Jared. Problem. Why? Descended. How they going to descend? I thought they was thrown out. So, but it's saying right here they descended. So if they descended, meaning by choice, So they wasn't thrown out. This is the problem. So this is where they can sit there and they can make up all kind of lies, but they can't change that word. Descended. Descended mean they had a choice. He who descended, the same one who ascended into heaven. Came down by choice, went back up by choice. These angels descended as by choice. Not saying they was kicked out or removed from heaven. So we have a problem there. Now we got another problem because in the days of Jared, which is another problem. Why is this another problem? Because Jared is the father of Enoch. Everybody, well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it is. But we got a problem. Because Jared, father, is Mahalalel. Really? Yeah, you go back and look at it. Mahalalel lived 895 years before he died. But then his father is Canaan. He lived 910 years before he died. Now that's getting into great-grandfathers. But watch this, great-great-grandfather. Then we have the father, who's the father of Canaan's father is Enos. Great-great. He lived 905 years and then he died. Going to great-great-great-greats. Because then we have Seth, who was the father of Enos. He lived 912 years before he died. So we got another problem. And on top of that, the father of Seth was none other than Adam, who lived 930 years before he died. So why we bringing all this up? Angels came down in time of Jared. Think about that. Are we thinking? Because if they brought and ascribed all sin was the time of Jared, you just see all these people we just went through? So sin wasn't even on the earth. So Adam didn't sin. So God owed Adam an apology, according to Enoch. In the whole world, the whole earth was corrupted through the works of Azazel, who ascribed, because this is why I say he owed him an apology. Ascribe mean the source, or it's being imputed, or attributed, or assigned which it came, which brings out another problem. Azazel, they added another name, which came from the Hebrew meaning and was stolen from there. However, to help show you the book is a lie, Azazel means scapegoat or separation from sin. So how are you going to teach saying he's separated from sin? Yeah, interesting. However, according to the book of Enoch, the Most High God, as I said, he owes Adam an apology, because sin didn't come on the scene until the time of Jared, according to the book of Enoch. So if sin didn't come into the book of Jared, then Enoch didn't have anything to do with sin. Just as the book of Enoch teaches that the archangels made way for salvation and all that have it. However, Moses was prophesied through obedience of God in the way. It said sent another prophet to show us the path. So we got to look at this to show you the more lies that they pumping. So we have people who are going to have problems with this, but they dislike that we showing this. But as I said, we always open up to where you can always come in and then we can always have that discussion. It says in the book of Enoch 10:20-22, it says, and cleanse thou the earth from all oppression and from all unrighteousness and from all sin and from all godliness and all uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth. I mean, earth destroyed from the earth. So why are you going to do? It's saying they're gonna cleanse the earth from all oppression and from all unrighteousness and all from sin. and godlessness. Really. According to the book of Enoch. These are what these archangels are doing. But it gets better. Watch this. And it says, all the children of men shall become righteous. So now we know all the children of men are going to become righteous. And all nations shall offer adoration and shall praise him and shall worship me. Really? Who is me? So the children shall become righteous and all nations shall offer praises and worship. That's all adoration means. This is what Enoch's saying. The book of Enoch is saying this, but it gets better. Now verse 22. It says, and all the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement and from all sin and from all punishment and from all torment and will never again sin. He said, I will never sin again them upon it from generation to generation and forever. So sin is here, but understand what he's saying here. And cleanse thou the earth in all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all ungodliness. And all the uncleanness that wrought upon the earth, destroy from the earth, and all the children of men shall become righteous. And shall all nations should be offered adoration, and shall praise men, and they shall worship me, and all the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, from all sin, from all punishment, from all torment. I will never again send them upon. I think that's another reprint, but that's okay. So, because we need to focus on something. So the earth going to be cleansed from all defilement, all punishment, all torment. So I'm going to show you the stupid part. Show you the stupid part where people, and this is why I say, etymology and precept comprehension is key. Key. Why? Let's look at the part here. We're going to look at something. He says, I will never again send them upon it from generation to generation forever. What's wrong with that? Because it's stupid. I'm sorry, there ain't no other way to put it. Stupid. Why? Because what it's saying here is that the Most High is saying he sent these 11,900 foot things down to have sex with people and to turn into flesh and start eating them and to pack themselves against the Most High. That's what this is saying. Not only that, you have angels working completely outside of position. How do we know this? 'Cause we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it. Let's get a real good understanding of this. It says, and he said to me, this is Michael, the merciful and long suffering. I gotta just pause right there. This is Michael, the merciful and long suffering. I know y'all get it. Michael will break you off. Michael ain't no different than a pet bull. Ask Satan when they wanted to get him out of heaven. Michael, I need you to they got to go. Enough said. He wasn't, hey, you guys, I'm sorry, Most High, he asking you guys to go and, okay, yeah, today, yeah, okay, well, how next week look? No, Michael didn't do that. Michael put your butt out. But it gets better. And the second who set over all disease and all wounds of the children of men is Raphael. It just gets stupid. So now they got different positions to where they do different things. So Michael is sit there and say, no, you shouldn't do that. I'm merciful. You can't be putting no disease on him. He came to me, talked to me yesterday. Can't do it. And the third is set over all powers is Gabriel. Gabriel's a dang messenger. Gabriel's sitting there like, well, how did I get this job? And the fourth is set over repentance in hope of those who inherit eternal life, is named Peniel. If y'all don't get this silliness, I'm telling you, it just boils down to stupidity. And people believe this. There's no other way to put it. We have these Michaels working out of position, and then it gets so stupid. We get Raphael over disease, then you got Gabriel over powers, and then you got Peniel over repentance and hope. It's just like Santa Claus. So this is the problem. It says, and these are the four angels of the Lord's spirits, in the four voices I have heard in those days, and said unto me, first, Michael the merciful, long suffering, second, and let me see, is this a repent? Let me see, I'm trying to set over repentance in eternal life. Yeah, I think they got some parts in there. Let me look at it. It says first, Michael the merciful, long suffering, second, set over disease. Yeah, it's the same part. So all we needed was that first part up there, and that's what it was talking about. However, we're going to look at some of this right here. And he says, in the book of Enoch, in 41:2, and I saw the mansion of the elect and mansion of the holy. Really? And my eyes saw all the sinners being driven from thence. So the sinners was already in your place. Technically what it's saying. So they was already in heaven, so they got there before you did, and they was already in your mansion. They was already there, and then they had to be thrown out. How they did it, I don't know. But what we do, we go ask them and ask the book of Enoch to figure that out. And then it says, which deny the name of the Lord, the Spirit, and being dragged off, so they had to drag them out, and they could not. Well, I wonder why they just didn't use an eviction letter. Well, okay. Anyway, because our punishment proceed from the Lord of spirits, that they saw the mansion of the elect, mansion of the holy eyes, and saw the sinners being drawn from thence, and denied the name of the Lord of spirits being dragged off. And this is another repeat. So some of this stuff is being repeated. And this is the problem, because this is who these spirits are, and we talking about those four angels. But what we have to see is they the ones who holds on to everything. But we do know in Moses, he said, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak all that I shall command him. Kind of clear. But let's see what happened. In John 10:14, believest thou not in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the work. It's just what Deuteronomy 18:18 is talking about. Talking the exact thing. But let's get a little bit clearer. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto the words which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. He's going to command this of him. This is clear. So the Most High God is commanding things from us and to do out according to the book. Same as it says. And when you look at Ecclesiastes 12:12, be admonished, be warned, be instructed, and be reproved for the purchasing and making of many books, commentaries, Bible translations. There is no end, because much studyiness is worriedness on the flesh in using them. So we should seek ye out of the book of the Lord, as you see in Isaiah 34:16, which tells you seek out of the book of the Lord and read. It's singular, not plural, but it says not one of these, which goes to plural, let you know is many books within the one book. And within them, none of them should fail, and none should want her mate. So you should not be trying to mate other books to this book, because there's no other books to be mated to it. The Most High God, out of his mouth has he commanded, in his spirit have he gathered them. So if we have angels brought salvation, why would the Bible contradict Enoch? Can we have that? Because why it going to contradict? Because of right here. It says, for there is one God and one mediator between God and man, that is Christ Jesus. Really? There's one God, one mediator, one divine authority between God and man. That is Christ's salvation. For one, gave himself a ransom for all. And two, to be testified in due time. Therefore, for that reason, for even hereunto we are called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow in his steps. You don't see nowhere in here talking about angels, do it? The example of Christ. So even if an angel brought to you, as they want to sit there and say, bring to you another doctrine, is what you need to be doing. What you need to be doing. You need to separate yourself from that kind of foolishness, meaning what? It says, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other message, any other gospel unto you than which ye have preached, than what we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Clear. This doctrine, or the doctrine being preached to you, let it be accursed. Damnable. Blaspheming the Most High Word, Most High God word, because they are perverting the gospel, the message of Christ, by mixing silliness with purity of the law of eternal life. But then you have Tamika Willis and others saying that Yahweh quoted from the book of Enoch. She said that. Go back and look at it. She said they quoted from it, so we got to deal with that. We got to deal with this. So again, one of us lying. But we're going to study this to see what it's saying. We got to see the parallelism and the similarities on what's going on. Because we have people like this, like to run these games, but then we have silly dudes out there teaching this junk. But then we got silly women actually even pushing this junk. So let's look at this. Let's look at this real good. John 4:14. It says, but whosoever drinketh of this water I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water spring up into everlasting life. This is one of the quotes. How? Let's look at this. Let's look at the book of Enoch. Enoch 48:1. It says, which is inexhaustible and around where many found of wisdom, and all the thirsty drink of them, and were filled with wisdom in their dwellings, were in the righteous and holy elect, which is inexhaustible around all the many fountains of wisdom, and all thirsty drink of them, and were filled with wisdom in their dwellings, were in the righteous and the holy elect. That's what they saying that was drawn from it. So first, same thing. Like I say, I'm a Hebraeus. I tear down your stuff. So what we have a problem with? We have a problem with inexhaustible. Inexhaustible. Why do we have a problem with that word? That Bible is found nowhere in the Bible, anywhere else but in the book of Enoch. And if Enoch was written before all the other books, these words would have been used. As with inexhaustible, as what I showed you, even with pregnant and a few other words. And we have a few other words that's the entire sentence structure makes no sense. Why? Because inexhaustible cannot be emptied. That's what that means. Cannot be emptied. So meaning what? You cannot even go in it. So remember the word inexhaustible. Why? Same thing I said. I do checks. I'm a Hebraeus. That's what I do. So inexhaustible came out of the 15th century, and it wasn't even during the time of Enoch. So why does 15th century in the book of Enoch showed up in the 15th century? Ain't that weird? It's weird, ain't it? But that's when the book of Enoch actually came on the scene, but that's where you had it. So in other words, they could not be empty, knowing but showing you what people who wrote the book, how they did fool you and believe in the book of Enoch is real. So let me show you the mix of scripture. I'm going to show you how they did it. This is actually going to shock you. See, because what they did, they didn't make up the verses. What they did, they just rewrote verses. And as they rewrote verses, they just changed the words. So where did this come from? So, as I said, I'm going to dig into your doctrine. But when I dig into it, grade me. Because this is where this came. This is where that verse in Enoch 48:1, I'm going to show you where it came from. One of the scriptures they used is Isaiah 12:3. Therefore, with joy shall they draw water out of the wells of salvation. That's one of the spots they actually got some of the scripture from. But they sit there and they rewrite it another way. However, you have another one in 55:1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that have no money, come ye, buy and eat, yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. They use pieces of that to actually help come with that. This is what they do. But it gets better than that. Let's go down to Isaiah 58:11. And the Lord shall guide thee continually and satisfy thy soul in drought, which they completely using all that, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden. They're using that. And spring of water, using that, which water fail not. That's what they didn't understand. They put that inexhaustible, which caught them in the lie. Let's look at it a little bit more. In Jeremiah 2:13, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken the water. They have forsaken the fountain of living water, and the huge cisterns, broken cisterns, that can hold no water. They use this also. So what is this? So let's see some more where they can make this abundantly where they can push this lie. In Psalms 38:8, and they shall abundantly be satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the rivers of thy pleasures. This is all what they are doing. This is what they are doing. And this is what they did to create that verse right there. And it says, for with thee is the fountain of life, in thy light shall we see light. Why? They use this to use that. But what they do, don't think they use the entire Bible to do this. What they will do, and as I went through it, they'll take certain quotes, but then they'll reword stuff like this to come up to make it look like it was real. That's what they did. They playing tricks on the truth. And got people like Tamika Willis and a whole bunch of guys out there who teach this junk. They will grab these pieces just on the quotes. All the rest is all fairy tales. And then what they do, they'll take these verses, break them down, and then what they'll do is rewrite them. And they got you. Why? Because they got them. And they truly believe, oh, it's a spiritual book. They just don't understand spiritual. Oh, no, I understand. See, if it was possible, they'd be able to fool the very elect. If they didn't fool us. They fooled you. They didn't fool us. But let's get a little bit better. Let's see another one, what the Son of Man did. It says, for the Son of Man come to say, which was lost. Which was lost. So we need to see how this breaks down. We need to understand how this breaks down and go through it and find out what's going on. So Book of Enoch, we got to go to 46 verse 1. We're going to go through all the way through 8 to see how this actually works down. You see what I got there? Gracious. Make sure you keep that in mind. It says, and there I saw one who had the head of days, and his head was white like wool. In him was another being whose countenance and his appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness. Keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. Write it down. And like one of the holy angels. Let me just move past that. And as the angel who went to me, you already see what's going on, because you know John did some of the same thing. But he said, and the angel who went to me and showed me the hidden things concerning the Son of Man. He who he was, in which he went into the head of days. Okay, I'm not going to pick that. We just going to see the stupidness as it goes. He answered and said unto me, this is the Son of Man who have righteousness, with whom dwelleth righteousness, and who revealeth the treasures, all the treasures of that which is hidden, because the Lord of spirits have chosen him, in whose lot have the preeminence before the Lord of spirits in uprightness forever. Really? Yeah, really. Let's go on. The Son of Man whom thou hast seen shall rise up, the kings of the mighty. Remember, Watchmen said the mighty was angels. But, okay. Let's keep moving forward. And the seats in their seats, and the thrones in their thrones, and loosen their rents in the other thrones, and break the teeth of the sinners. Dang, that's deep. And he shall pull down the kings from their thrones. Oh, I didn't know angels became, okay. Let me move forward. Because they did not exalt and praise him, nor humbly acknowledge which the kingdom was bestowed upon them. Move on. And he shall put down the countenance of the strong, and shall fill them with shame, and darkness shall be their dwellings, and worms shall be their bed, and they shall have no hope of rising from their beds, because they did not extol the name of the Lord of spirits. Verse 7. And these are they that judge the stars of heaven. Dang, that's deep. And no, deeply stupid. He said that deep. No, deeply stupid. And raise the hand against the Most High, and tread upon the earth, and dwell upon it. And all their deeds manifest unrighteousness. I'm gonna come back to that. And their powers rest upon the riches, and their faith is in the gods which made their hands, and their deny the name of the Lord of Spirit. Now, why I had to pause that for a second. It says all their deeds manifest unrighteousness. What's going on here? One, graciousness cannot be found nowhere in the Bible. Invented in Enoch. Number one. And then here is the other problem. In all their deeds manifest unrighteousness. Now, same as I said. See, you have these same people. These same people, they want to tell you, they're going to teach you Paleo Hebrew. Teach you how to pray in it, teach you how to talk it. And they don't even get this structure. In all their deeds manifest unrighteousness. But they read the book. And they should have caught it. Because if I would have read the book 2 or 3 times, I guarantee you I catch way more stuff. But I just went through it and just studied these pieces. Why? These manifest unrighteousness is structured completely stupid, crazy, idiotic, labeled out, formatted structure. There ain't no other way to put it. Complete foolishness. All their deeds manifest unrighteousness. No such structured thing has understandability on what that says. None. But it gets better. Verse 8. And they shall prosecute the house of his congregation, and the faithful who hang upon the name of the Lord of spirits. So again, just total stupidness. Total, complete stupidness. That's all it is. But it gets better. I promise you it gets better. Watch this. Let's look at Jude, because this is another one they talked about. But I need to warn you guys first. I want everybody, if anybody's standing up, everybody has to sit down. I can't tell you, but I'm just asking. I need everybody sitting down. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. I want everybody sitting down. If you're driving, pull over. Because I'm not going to be the cause of no accidents. So, let's look at the book of Jude that they say he quotes from also. That they quote, that Jude and them quotes from Enoch. It says, in Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints. Now you know the book of Enoch says this. But we got to see something. Let's look at a little bit more. And it says, and execute judgment upon all, and convince all that are ungodly among them that are ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, in all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So we need to understand something. So they saying that Enoch quoted both of these verses. That's what they're going to say, because I'm going to show it to you. I'm literally going to show it to you. But what we got to do is understand something. So what is this saying? So he's going to execute a decree, and he's going to set up a beginning. So Christ came with 10 of his thousand, and same as you seeing today, he's coming with these 10 of his thousands, and they came in and what doing what? And they making known his covenant to you guys. Meaning what? They making known his statutes, his ordinances, his commandments, his judgments upon the earth. That's what they're doing here today. Shocking, ain't it? But stay sitting down. And to do what? To do what? To convince the ungodly. Convince the ungodly in their ungodly deeds, which continue to commit against the Most High God. Convince, to prove, to persuade, evidence showing one in error, which one nothing more is doing is sin. That's what they're doing. That's what I said. Many people came here, ain't by accident. So one will see this view and not believing in not believing guilty or not guilty. So one being convinced is proof of the present. Meaning what? The etymology of the word of convince mean what? To convict. That's all the etymology of it. Convict. One way good or bad. Either way, righteous or unrighteous. Reason by actual meaning to convict. To convict the what? To convict the heart. Either it's going to harden or it's going to circumcise the heart. One of the two. Instantly serving God or not. So many are speaking these hard speeches against the Most High God of Israel, by way which these books in the books of Enoch put the difference, and they put a different spin on the Most High God's word, making you think that he's not an enemy to God, but he is an enemy towards God. Why? Because the book is. See, another example is shown in the convince of the book. So we got to remember, just keep convinced there, because I'm going to keep it there. So he said he had to convince them. This is what happened. So let's look at the book of Enoch. Book of Enoch 1:9. It says, behold, he cometh with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh in all the works of their ungodliness and having ungodly committed, in all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken. So you see, they took the verse, but he said to destroy, and right here is to convince. But he said they're going to destroy all ungodly. He said he's gonna sit there and he's gonna convince the ungodly. So again, we have another lie. You have another lie. See, but no matter what, see, I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna boil down to. No matter what, we have people even in here right now, no matter what you do, they're not gonna believe this. And deservingly so should die. See, people saying that, man, dang, Elder Johnson taught. Oh no, deservingly so, because when you can clearly see the difference of the truth, and you refuse and you hold on to something that's showing a contradictory towards the Bible, the written hand of God, I have no love for you. None. Because he's telling you right here, they're going to destroy in the book of Enoch, and down here in the book of the Bible telling you they're going to convince them. 10,000 of the holy ones going to come up on judgment, and then now they say, Enoch saying they're going to destroy the ungodly and convict the flesh of the ungodliness including the heart spoken against the Most High. So Jude is saying convinced, and Jude is saying, Enoch is saying they're going to destroy him. Weird, ain't it? So this doctrine that they're doing is one thing. So here's why men can fool you in doing what they're doing. One, they're good orators when they can fool you into this. And they can easily pull you from the Bible. So when they can pull you from the Bible, they can get you into believing anything they want. That's all they have to do is pull you away from the Bible. They can get you to believe anything. But that's what we got to go deeper, because that's not enough. See, because as it said, as the book of Enoch is so real to them, they even said in here where the angels built the ark. Think I'm playing? See, y'all keep thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing with you guys, and we got to show it. It says in the book of Enoch, 67 verse 2, it says, now the angels are making a wooden building, and when they were completed the task, they placed my hand upon it to preserve it, and there shall come forth the seed of life, and change and set in so that the earth would not remain without inhibited. Really. So they the one made it. They the one made it. But watch this. Think I'm playing. And God said unto Noah, told you. God said, okay. Enoch saying angels did it. Genesis saying the Most High spoke to Noah. The end of all flesh come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them from the earth. However, Noah was before Enoch. Another problem. Noah was before Enoch. But Enoch wrote the book about the ark, and the angels must have stored it somewhere. So I don't know what happened. See, it just started getting confusing because Noah was way before Enoch. But that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah, it's a lie. But anyway, and then it says, make thee an ark of gopher wood, which is talking about something else. Room shall thou make in the ark, and thou shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. So make gopher wood. See, just as I said, that's teaching within itself. But we have people out there that go tell you gopher wood is all kind of stuff. They'll tell you all kind of silliness. Total silliness. But it gets better than this. Let's keep moving forward. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make of it, and the length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, in birth 50 cubits, in height 30 cubits. That's what he wants. I want this how I want it to look. Angels didn't even get these measurements. But watch this, because he wants some bay windows in it. A window shall thou make the ark, and in a cubit thou shalt finish it above, and the door of the ark shall thou set in the side thereof, and lower the second in the third story. In the third story thou shalt make it. So now I got a bay window in the door. We just running through it, but let's go through here. And behold, I, even I, will bring a flood upon the earth, but not thinking what you thinking, and to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of all life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. So my question to them is this where the angels started growing to 11,000 feet? I don't know. Because now, see, because if I was sitting in there, I'm confused. That'll confuse me. But let's move forward. It says, but with these, I will establish my covenant, not with the angels, but the angels built the ark. But let's keep moving forward. Thou shalt come into the ark, and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy son's wife with thee. So how did they get around those angels? 11,900 foot tall. I don't know how they got around them angels. You tell me. Actually, I'm going to tell you what. Is that where all the dinosaurs, what happened to them? They ate up all the dinosaurs? Yeah, just a thought. Just a thought. Because ain't none on there. That's just a thought. Okay, let's move forward. In every living thing of all flesh, two of everything of thou shalt bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee, and thou shalt be male and female. So this is covenant that he's establishing, making sure everything's going to go down the right way, and this is how he's doing it and making sure it's clear. A fowl after its kind, cattle after their kind, of creeping things of the earth after his kind, every two of every sort shall come unto thee, and keep them alive. But same thing, you got people teach silliness, and they'll sit there and tell you these are straight out animals coming up, saying this must be the place. And then the first thing they want to tell you is nothing too high for God. No, because let's just move forward, because this is what's going on. But watch what happens. And take thou unto thee all the food that eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and thou shalt be for food for thee and for them. Now, this is what was going on. So now we're going to see right here who's lying. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him. So he did. So you tell me, was it two arks? Because the book of Enoch said the angels did one. In Genesis, we just read where Noah did one, what God told him. Oh, I forgot. The angels didn't listen to God. So that's probably what happened. But this is the silliness what's going on. But it gets even worse. So it's saying now, even with this gets with the book of Enoch and talking about what wrote, then you had these women who became angels, and then they became these sirens. Greek mythology. Watch. You think I'm playing, but this is the silliness that's in this book. Book of Enoch, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, in Uriel, let me just leave that alone. Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, in the spirits assuming many different forms and defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing demons as gods. Here shall they stand till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged till they are made an end of. Really? Yeah, I'm telling you. This book is a trip. Let me move forward. Okay, and women also of angels went astray and became sirens. I told you. But y'all want to see what a siren looked like. This is a siren. That's what they started looking like. They start making these sirens. They start becoming these. Meaning what? Looking like that. Think I'm playing? That's what they became. This is what they became. Sirens. Better yet, like that. I'm telling you, this is what they teach. And people believe them. They believe this. They believe this. Meaning what? This is just what they do. So when people teach this, you need to understand what it says. 1 Timothy. It says, if any man teach otherwise, consent in the wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yahushua the Messiah, into the doctrine which according to godliness. So if any man comes teaching these doctrines, this silliness, he's proud. Because they're going to sit there, some going to sit there, and I guarantee you some going to put it in there, still putting in there like, no, you just don't understand the book. They're going to still put the silliness in there, even though you see all the contradictions in the book. They're proud, knowing nothing. But doubting about questions and strife, that's what they want to do. They want to ask you other questions. So tell me this. No. You ask you correct your book. Because they doubted about questions. What mean? They're going to doubt a question over here, doubt a question over there. Because guess what? They don't want to answer none of the questions that's put before them, so they want to put other questions and put analogies to make you think. Whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil submergings, perverse disputings of men, corrupt minds, destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, because most of them going to always have. Look at them. Donations. That's the way they run. Destitute of the truth, supposing gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. But many are not going to do that. No matter what, people are going to go over there because guess what? They like the flesh on what they see. Meaning what? They just like, well, I enjoy him. So guess what? You hold on to it. You go where they go. It doesn't matter. So we're going to look at it this way. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he now who letteth will let until he be taken out the way. Because this is going to happen. This is clear. This is going to happen. Why? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. He didn't only tell us, Yahweh told us. And we still want to hold on to a lie. Meaning this. For there shall false Christ arise. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, which is not, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Well, you didn't fool us. Didn't fool us, I'm showing you your lie. But if you're not elect, you will get fooled. And behold, I have told you before. He's telling you, everybody telling you, but you ain't gonna believe it. So this is the problem. Wherefore, if thou shalt say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, which GLCC telling you, y'all gonna go up to the wilderness, going on up there. You got something for y'all. Go not forth. But most of y'all gonna go, man, I can't wait, man. I'm going to the wilderness. I'm going, man, I can't wait. Dude, you're in the wilderness. But they're gonna continually teach you this silliness. Why? Because this is what you guys believe. This is what many people believe. They believe this doctrine. So, he said, in the secret chambers, believe it not. So, as I said, so as GOCC and the Watchmen, his wife and others who teach these lies, is doing all this stuff, getting you closer, talking about they're going to get you closer to God, going into these books and all this stuff, and everything, what they're telling you, having you to pay this unreal amount. They have, actually, not even them, but you even have IUIC, where they out there teaching about UFOs. So, as we said, your eternal life is actually at stake. This is why I'm going into those other two, and then I'm going to put it to bed, because after that, I'm not, somebody sit there and say, oh, well, can you just look at this book? No, I'm done with the books. I'm done with those books after that. I'm not going to sit there and go through these things after that. So this is what we got to remember. And one second, I'm trying to get this one part in. Let me move this over so I can if you refresh, you should be able to see the chat, because the chat is now open. And if anybody have any challenge or anything, what they want to sit there and say that they have some truth to it, to where they can make us understand it, I don't have no problem, as I'm always very upfront. We will actually, I will switch this over. I will go into Zoom to where you can come in and you can bring it forward. Technically what's going to happen. So other than that, hopefully that you guys got some information out of that. And I'm going to tell you, I only did about 50% of the silliness that is actually in the book of Enoch. And it has a way more. Way more. But it's just so much. I'd be on it for a month, and I just couldn't take that book. Because it's hard enough, even when the book of Jasher and the book of Jubilee is just as silly. Just as silly, but they'll sit there and they want to tell people that they just don't, that you just don't understand the book. This is what they do. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be more than happy to where we can go through it. If somebody's sitting there talking about that they want to, that they, hey, you know, I'd like to talk to you about it, I can flip this right over. We can flip this right into Zoom to where we can actually go live and you can actually bring forward whatever you want to bring. So same thing I said, what you guys can do right now, you can actually, if you refresh your browser, you actually see the chat is open to where if you have any questions, you can actually, we actually go over it. So currently I don't see anything that's going in right now. And I think we are pretty good. So I don't see anything. Yeah, then, yeah, and so I see, yeah, so we have some, and we have this, let's see, I want to sit there, I want to make sure that we are going through this as said. So the main thing is just to keep people. And my main reason why I even taught that, because we do have a lot of people brought up those questions about Enoch and all this and same thing. And so my main thing was, I'm gonna show you the silliness. So if you decide you want to still roll with it, you roll with it. Yeah. And let's see here, we have we don't have change. Appreciate it. No question. Yeah. But the book, I'm telling you, the book is hard to take. Because I'm telling you, is way more silliness in there. Way more silliness. But this is what they do. And but same thing, like I said, you know, if we have any people in here, which I'm pretty sure it is, that still believe in that book, all you have to do is just post in there, just saying, you know, hey, I'd like to discuss this in an open forum. I won't have no problem. I'll switch this over to where we'll do it on a Zoom, to where you can actually speak your side, and I don't have anything to say. So, yep, one less book. Yep, because the book is hard to take. In truth, and it's blurry. Why? Top or something else. Yeah, it could be blurry because it's clear as day over here. And but I do want the ones who do it. And see, and the thing what you have to look at in that Sefer Bible, the book of Enoch is in there, the book of Jubilees as well as the book of Jasher. So those false books are in there. So if they're in there and they're telling you it's part of Scripture, the book is telling you what it is. It's a false book altogether. But people will sit there and tell you otherwise. And let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Awesome teaching. Oh no, you're gonna have some. You have some. I promise you, you have some that is going to do it. What they'll do, they'll wait till we go off, and then what they will do is they'll put in there just saying we don't understand the book, we don't have the spiritual understand everything. But when you precept it, just the same I said, we'll go through your book. So that's what I did. Yeah, many broken English subject. Yeah, sentence structure. Yeah, thank you, Brother Mac. I can tell you some areas to go into. Unreal, but I just didn't do them. I'm telling you, because it was just too much other stuff. Yeah, it's very strong delusion. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, most of them you ain't gonna convince them. No matter what, they're gonna hold to it. Even though you have those verses to where you could show them the contradictions, they still not gonna believe you. I don't care what you do. And they contradict the Bible full. I'm talking about full wholeheartedly. Let me see. And yeah, you can go to KJBU. You can go over to KJBU. You can go over there to the resources, and it'll take you right over to it. It'll take you right over to it. So yeah, just go right there, and you can do that right there, and you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to get it right there, because what it'll do, it'll send you right to Lulu. That's what it's gonna do. It's going to send you directly to Lulu. So that's part of what happens. But just go to kjbu.org. And can you tell us, mention other books? Okay, Sam, can you tell us, can you tell me why the Bible mention other books if they can't read them? Okay, so you tell me. So the same thing is many books mentioned in the Bible. If they're not in there, then evidently it's mentioned, but evidently it was in part for us to read them. But to sit there to try to find out why, and two, it never says in the Bible where Enoch has a book. So it seemed like you kind of almost is an Enoch book person, but that's kind of how you coming off. But the main thing is, the book of Enoch, it don't say, all it says is he had a testimony that he pleased God. That was it. And people has written an entire book on this man. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you saying you always ready, but throwing you off because many places. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it does. It'll confuse you. And you don't willingly see what happens here. It says, Elder, why do we so easily and willingly give up our birthright for foolishness, as Enoch is? And it's not giving up your birthright. What you're doing is, I kind of get what you're saying. But what we're doing is we refusing to step into the full understanding of God. So the birthright, what most people miss, the birthright is coming into the oracle of God and understanding what's going on in the matrix to where you can actually go in. That's what they do. So, but they give up that birthright to do that, because they're going to the book of Enoch. And what they'll do, they'll get a hold of foolishness, but then same thing that I was telling that young lady, what they truly believe is God is a freak. To where he'll let these things grow to these unreal heights. It's really silly. And then they start, not only doing that, they start eating people. Then you got women looking like half bird. They're just silly. It just go from one silliness and they just keep compounding on top. And people believe it. Same thing, like I said, IUIC, them is out there, they teaching on UFOs. I don't get it. And then we will also want to make sure everybody being prepared for tomorrow because we will be going through Romans. And okay, you tell me. How long will the nation remain divided? You tell me. So same thing. What I do, I don't sit there and answer questions that how long will they be divided? Because the Bible tells you He's going to join them together. So what you're doing, you're trying to create a doctrine. So this is part of the problem. When you put stuff forward like that, you're saying, okay, how long are nations going to be divided? Okay, what do it say? What do it say in the Bible? We have a problem with God. We talking about dividing people, and we got a problem with God. So once we need to get back with God, you can get back. The people can come together as one. However, He's going to grab you as one. How long? If anybody teaching those doctrines, again, they teaching you a doctrine of silliness. It just boils down to that. Yes, in King James Bible doesn't quote after the quote. It's capital Enoch. So yeah, it's straight false. And I'm trying to see why this one takes so long. And it's saying many times. Most like teachers. Okay, so again, we're doing something else that we shouldn't be doing. It's saying Shalom out of the children of Ham reside in Africa, as most Israelite teachers teach. Okay, again, they telling you in America is Judah. So again, they didn't section us out when they put us on ships. So how do we know who all resides in Africa? So this is what I'm saying. We have to stop sitting there where you have these people, they rolling around with these 12 tribe chart craziness and telling you, oh yeah, where your people from? They from here? Oh yeah, this is who you are. That's silliness. This is pure silliness. You have even it's a half-breed guy, Sakari. He's out there teaching, and you see that all you gotta do is pull him right into the book of Idris. You have to separate them. Why? They put them off. It gets into silliness, but what most of them like to teach is logistics. They don't want to go into the Bible and tell you what you need to be doing. This is the problem. Yeah. In the book, a second. Yep. Yeah, appreciate it. And and that's the main point. If you can understand and see that the book of Enoch is false, that should just show you when people teach of that. I'm talking about. Why you even hanging out with? Same thing when people sitting there, and they have a book of Enoch, and they have a book of the Sefer Bible, and they teach from it. They letting you know what they're all about. That's automatic. And most people still sit there. Well, I still roll with them. They teaching out of a false book. And yes, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Sakari calls himself a Levi priest. How? And he said he's gonna divide Levi and Simeon in all amongst all Israel. But we got to remember, Sakari is what they call a half breed. All you got to do is go to Ezra and you see they had to get rid of all the women who had those children. So how can he call himself a high priest and you cannot find a mix with two different parents, two different nations of parents, where you see where their children was teaching in the Bible? You can't find that nowhere. Ishmael got sent off, and Ishmael was half African. But people sit there, so he can say whatever. Do it make it true? No. It was put off. He didn't. Yeah, but that's the biggest thing they like to do. They like to get you caught up on, oh yeah, where your parents from? As soon as you name it, oh yeah, you guys are this. The Bible don't show you none of that. Everything is created, but they telling you this. So what they love to do, and same thing, what they do, they love your money. But same thing. We're foolish enough to where we give it to them. And I'm trying to sit there to see, and right now we don't have anyone. I'm trying to give them time to where they can come in to where we can pull over to Zoom. However, we're not getting anything currently right now from them. And not seeing anything from that. I do not see anything so far. And that's what I really want to see, because what happens is, it is rampant on YouTube, and it is really rampant around Facebook and a lot of other places, which also what we'll be doing later, which you'll see now, because a lot of our teachings, we'll be teaching right here on YouTube on the main teaching, but a lot of the class teachings that we'll be doing, as far as on specialized books that's in the Bible, you'll see they will be moving all inside of KJBU, every one of them. So that you will start seeing. And okay, you saying the question off topic was Aaron and his sons and the daughters from Levi and Judah, or was I doing a study on it? Yeah, see, well, what you got to do, you could go see, because one, it's saying Aaron and his sons and daughters from Levi and Judah. So when you're going to go back and see, go back and look at where Moses from and where Aaron is from. And tell me, do it say both? See, that's all you got to do. Don't listen to what somebody's going to tell you. Go, like we say, don't go outside the book. Stay in the book and see what the book going to tell you where Aaron and Moses is from, because these are two brothers. See where they're from, and you'll get your answer. But you have people who will sit there and they're going to this silly Josephus, and they do a whole lot of other stuff, and they'll say, oh yeah, see this what happened here, and the Bible don't speak of it. Just go in there and see what it says. When you go in there and see what it says, you'll get your answer. And Lucifer, the name of a male, he was a cherubim, and he was made from the ground. Okay, so again, you actually ended something completely different. And number one, Lucifer is the name of a man, which I actually do a teaching on it. And the same thing, I do know the Watchman actually even using that and trying to bring it out like he bringing it out what Lucifer, who he actually was, because Lucifer is nobody else but Adam. But you see that he actually talks about that now, but he didn't have the slightest idea. And actually, the easiest way to catch him, ask him, how did he come up with that? How did he come up to the name? Because he actually had to be able to pull a precept to show you the exact fact on how he got that name. And I guarantee you can't do it. Because what I do when I teach is certain keys I leave out just in case people like him come up. Yeah, Sakari is mixed. Yeah, it's clear. He's mixed. And what we're trying to do, and we're not seeing anyone from this is actually extremely odd. Because normally, the biggest thing and this is the biggest thing you have to remember when you have people that teach a doctrine, they should be willing to defend that doctrine with no issues, or they can show you the difference in that doctrine. But for whatever reason, they won't come. Same thing like I said, we'll give you the floor. And you can sit there and do whatever, but I guarantee, but this is the problem, they're not going to come in. That's why, you see the other two, they'll come in later and then they want to put their little quotes in there thinking everything is cool. Yeah, I saw the video, but still confused. You still confused? Let me see. Yeah, you saw the video, still confused. So what you can do, I'll move to, my question is, yeah, so what we'll do tomorrow, just if you're in class tomorrow, just come in the back early and we can take care of that. Yeah, because if you're still confused on it, because this is real straightforward, but you come back there and we'll get all that straight, because I can show you the system on how that actually works. And why you don't use the Hebrew set-apart name of the Father, a set-apart spirit? Why I don't use the Hebrew set-apart names? Okay, so you tell me what the set-apart names are. So the same thing is, it seems like you trying to come and trying to tell me what I need to be doing. So you need to show me what these set-apart names is and what need to be going on. Because now you're coming in, you're going to give some direction. Yeah. Yeah, I still don't see Porter has not, this Terry Pointer, still have not, because I still want to see what your point is. See, he's not. See, and this is the thing, because you have people, they trying to direct stuff as soon as they come in. So I'm trying to find out. He's saying, why do you don't use the Hebrew set-apart names of the Father, Son, and set-apart Spirit? So again, I want to know, number one, well, before that, I need you to sit there and tell me what those names are. Because now you're coming in and like you're saying, this is basically what Christians do. They'll come into an arena, and then they're not hearing certain things of the name. So now what they want to do, they want to change. They want them names changed to what they want, what they're comfortable to. So again, I'm asking you, what names are you talking about? So it seemed like you're not going to sit there and answer anything. So these are things that I'm not here to play games with. So this is why, you watch how people do. You watch how people try to creep in and do little secret things. They try to do it real smoothly. Just saying, real thinking is being real cool about, hey, why you just don't use this? Okay. What names are you talking about? She's not even putting a name in there. So this is why I say we always have to watch what's happening. So the same thing in let's see, it is just your preference. No, Yah. Yeah, your house, and Ruach HaKodesh, no, all that's Yiddish junk. Every bit of it that you got there, except Yah. So, that's why I don't use it. That's why I was waiting for you to put that up there. Because I kind of figured that's what you was going to say. But Ruach HaKodesh, all Yiddish. That's a mixture of Polak and Greek. I mean, in German. That's all it is. So when you sitting there, you telling me stuff, and you sitting there telling me, see, I can even ask you its origins, where you got that from. And I guarantee you cannot tell me. But I can show you the origins where they came from. Because Ruach HaKodesh that y'all like to use, that's Yiddish. That's complete Yiddish. And that's something I don't abide by, I don't hold to, and you do not hear me saying it. Why? Because I'm not going to sit there and use those words. Just not. So that's something that you want to use, you use it, but you referencing Satan, because those are Yiddish words which I do not use. And if so, we can go. And let me see. Yeah, so oh boy, Sean, you okay? Yeah. So, and like the names we have in here, the names that we use, we can actually pull them. So that's the problem. So a lot of people come over here and they think they can change forms and everything. Same thing, like I said, Yahweh, Yahweh, all those names I can prove to you right there in the Bible. So if you believe in Ruach HaKodesh, that's silly altogether. But if you want to have a conversation over, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you on it. Be more than happy and show you exactly what you're doing, and showing you exactly, see, because then when I show you where it came from, I don't want you to sit there and back away from it, because I'm going to show you exactly where it came from. And you ain't going to like where it came from. So what happens is a lot of times, many of us go into those Septuagints, or you want to go into those exalted concordances and do all this stuff. All this stuff is Yiddish. And then what they do, they come up with all these things. And the same thing, actually, I believe the Sefer Bible use Ruach HaKodesh. I believe they use that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they use that. Ruach HaKodesh. So the same thing is, everything they do, and you get caught up on it, and then you believe those are it. That's the problem. So when you get caught up on it and you use it, you quoting to Satan, and Satan loving it, because he know you got you confused. And and so many people, they're gonna hold it. And I come with a and it says many will turn away from their false doctrine because it comes with a comes with a paycheck. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, many of them they're not gonna change yet because they do come with a paycheck. 325. Okay, so the servant of God, everybody know what the servant of God looked like, and if you know him, you should know what it looked like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something. And I'm not gonna get on you about this. This is Terry. I'm not gonna get on you about it. But the main thing is, it says, that's all I wanted to know. I'm not trying to direct your platform. I'm just asking information proposals. No, you're not. You didn't ask that because you said, why I don't use these. So what you're doing, you're implying something. You're planting the seed for me to be directed on something else as if I'm doing something in error. What I don't do is I let those things go away. Because what you're doing, because if you sit there and if it wasn't nothing wrong with it, you would actually, what most people do, they send me an email, say, hey, you want to tell you what? I noticed you don't use these names. And then you would put the names there and say, is there a reason for you not using those names? Then I would explain it to you. But when you put why you don't use those names, and then when I actually put the names in there, Then you said what they were, and now you're saying you're not trying to change the platform. Yes, you are. That's why I bring this stuff. I put it right up front to you. So when you sit there and say, I don't use certain names that you're used to hearing with a platform that you're around and listen to. That's what's happening. So the main thing is if you pull away from the books and you do your personal research, because what most of them are going to do, they're going to go get Yiddish Hebrew books. And that's the best way to put them. They're going to get Yiddish Hebrew books, and they're going to get the translations of them, and they're going to find Ruach HaKodesh. They're going to find those words in there. And then they're going to say, oh, well, people don't understand these words in the book. So they say, you don't understand the Hebrew, the essence of it. Okay. So the main thing is, why are you in a Hebrew book? Supposedly you're in a Hebrew book and you don't know you even understand the English language itself. That's the craziness within itself. Same thing actually brings me to another question. I'm going to put this up there. I'm going to show you something. Real simple. Actually, I'm not going to even use this one. Show you something real simple. Real simple, like to where we can understand each other. And this is not getting on you, but just for you to understand. So later you'll know what's going on. And I'm pretty sure if you're honest with yourself, you'll be straight up with me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you something. And if you be honest with me, and I'm talking to Terry Porter, because like I said, I'm not getting on you, but I just want you to be honest with me. Be straight up with me, and let's look at something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in there. And I want to see something real quick. And I'm going to put this up. So I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to put a question mark. I'm going to separate that. I'm going to put a colon. I'm going to separate that. Put a semicolon. I'm going to separate that. I'm going to put a comma. I'm going to separate that. I'm going to put a open and close. I'm going to separate that. I'm going to separate that. And I'm going to separate that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a question. Let me bring this larger. And no disrespect intended. So I'm going to ask you a question. What I just put up here, put a question mark, colon, semicolon, comma, parentheses, and I'm not going to even tell you what those are. This one is an exclamation point. Can you tell me what is the purpose of those? And I'm asking this to Porter. Just a pure question to Porter. Oh no, don't. See, don't worry about. There's no apologies, no harm taken. So don't worry about that. But what I want you to do, I want to show you something. So yeah. So don't worry. I don't have no issue with you. But what I want to do is show you how people can run you in the wrong direction. That's what I'm showing you. I'm not trying to sit there and pound you on something you did and did something, or just to do you wrong. What I want to do, I want to show you what people have done to help you, because I'm not here to be against you at all. So, the same thing you said, I don't know. See, the best answer in the world to use. Now, what I want you to do is hopefully tomorrow. And see, and I know, and I'm pretty sure that's probably your name, because I like people who put up just straight up who they are. I love that. So if you do me a favor, I'm asking you to do me a favor. Because just like I said, I'm not here to disrespect you in no way, shape, or form. Now, what I showed you was things that's used in our English language. That's what I was just showed you. What I'm gonna do is if you send me an email, send it to elder.mjohnson@kjbu.org. Send it there. I'm gonna put my phone number in there, so me and you can talk. Because just like I said, I'm not here to disrespect you, and I'm gonna show you what those mean. The reason why I want to do that, and I'm not doing it more openly, because I want you to understand the difference on why. Because when we see, let me put it back up. I'm gonna have to put up. Bible real quick to just pull what I want to show you, because literally I'm gonna show you something. Because then once I start showing this to you, you're actually gonna get angry, not at me, but you're gonna get angry at where people are actually teaching you this stuff. That's what you're gonna get mad about, which is good. But my thing is, if I can fill you with knowledge, I can get a lot of trash away from you to where people can't fool you. That's my only goal, is to get you to understand the Bible, to pull you away from false doctrine. At no time I'm trying to get you to pour to me to sit there to know what's happening. I'm not doing it for that reason. So what I'm doing right here, one second, I'm gonna put this thing back up. Let me put this up 1 second. I'm gonna show you something. I want to get this one, and I want to get one other one. 1 second. Give me 1 second, my brother. 1 second. There go another one right here. And because what I'm gonna show you is really important on what I want you to know. So, and that's why I want to take my time with you, because it seems like you're really being genuine about what you're saying. So I really want to help you out and not be, make sure those are there. So now let me put those up. Let me put those up. And I'm going to put those back up. Okay, so let me see. I might need to make it bigger. Let me see, do I need to make it bigger to get you to understand what's happening there? And I'm trying to make sure. I need to see something else yeah, you can't see it. Okay, so I pulled 2 verses. And it says, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations, comma, for his name. 3 words, colon. And then it says, among whom you also are called to Jesus Christ, colon, and by all that be in Rome, comma, beloved of God, comma, to be saints, colon, grace and peace from our God and our Father, comma, in our Lord Yahweh Shai the Messiah. Now over here you see where it gets into. I thought I pulled it. Dang it! I think I pulled the wrong verse. Let me see. I thought I had that verse. Let me pull the right one. Because it had a certain thing. No, wait a minute. It is there. I just missed it. Okay, it says, for I long to see you, that I might impart unto you some spiritual gift, comma, to the end that you may be established. Semicolon, that is, comma. Now, the reason why I said that, so, and the reason why I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Once you really start understanding how to tear the Bible down, this is the important part. And I'm mainly talking to this brother Terry Porter. That's the point. This is mainly what I'm talking to where we can have a good understanding between each other, to where you can see, I'm not trying to go against you. But what happens is this. You'll have brothers teach you false doctrine. And then what they'll do, they'll read past these things here. They'll read past those. They are there for a reason. That's why he even says not one jot or one tittle should no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled. So you have to know what those are. Same as these here. You have to know what they are. So if we don't know what they are, we'll get lost. This is all through the Bible, but we don't know what it actually means. Most people just think it means just raising the voice. And it don't mean just that. So what I'm trying to get you to see is this. These have meaning to give you better understanding on what is being said in the verse. Now, I said that to say this. Why would you, or why would anyone actually teach you another language? And this is our first language. Why would they teach you another language and people cannot, and guarantee if you go to the same people where you learn that from, you go back and you ask them, what do those mean? I guarantee you they cannot tell you what those mean. That's the point. So if they can't tell you what it means, why are they moving from another language to another language, and now they're going to teach you the proper understanding of another language, and they don't even understand their own language. So that's all I'm saying. So what I want to do is sharpen your skills up to where you can go in there, you'll know what's happening. You're gonna know you'll know how to tear this Bible down. That's the end game. Because when they sit there and most of them read past everything, and just in period, I can show you period don't actually I didn't even put that in there. Period don't mean what you think, period. Just that dot. Everything has a meaning to it, and we need to know what they mean to help you understand the doctrine of the Bible. That's the point I've been making. So the same thing is, see, with somebody who's being very upfront and honest, as you are, because only person who really wants to learn can even say what you said. You said, hey, I don't know. Only people like you can do that. You the person to where you can empty yourself, trash out your doctrine, and then just learn from the foundation of the Bible and build on that with precepts. That helps you with everything. That's what we want to do. That's why we want to sit there, and I don't mind. That's why I'm saying. That's why I even said in here, I'm talking to you. If I can get you to understand this, I'm good. But I don't want you to be fooled by somebody else. I don't want you to be fooled by me. I don't want to sit there and teach something that's contrary to the Bible Okay, I think I got it back. Well, we got it back. I don't know what happened here. So we back good. We back running. I don't know what went on, but as I was saying with Porter, hopefully you can come in and I can show you exactly what you need to be doing, and that's the main thing is once you can understand what's happening with the Bible, once you can understand what things mean in the Bible, that's when you can come out a lot better. So that's why I said, so to understand what those periods and everything mean, that'll help you give you better understanding where you can run deeper into the Bible. So that's why I said that I'm gonna focus on you. But then if you actually, I'm gonna put my email in here and just put your name in there, and I'm gonna give you my number. And Elder. Okay. So that's my email. So if you send me an email and I'm talking about Terry Porter, and then I'd be more than happy to talk with you. We can go over quite a bit of this to where, because the key is not to sit there to, hey brother, you don't know this, you don't know that, you don't know. No, you say you don't know. Let me show you how to go through it. So once you know how to go through it, now you carry the weight. That's what I want to do. So with that, let me see who else we got. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, froze up. I don't know what happened, because it even froze up on my end too. And let's see. And I was getting yeah. So hopefully Porter didn't go away, but that's the main thing. What I like to make sure when people, trying to understand actually what's going on with Scripture and with the Bible. I'm trying to see what's happening. And let me see. I'm trying to look, and I don't see any other. No other. So yeah. So hopefully, Pointer. Hopefully you understood what I was coming from, and let's see. Yeah. What's the main? Okay, and it says, what's the main today, Elder? So I don't stray. What's the main? I'm trying to understand what you're saying, main. What's the main? This is black. Can you tell me? I don't know what you're saying. What's the main? If you can just say what that is, then I can see the. Oh, what's the main? Okay, what's the main topic? Okay, basically, what was going on? We had a brother who came in and asked a question about the names, calling certain things a certain name. But then we just showed him technically what was happening there, and what we're gonna do later. I'm gonna show him exactly what those mean and help him out a little bit. So, and I would love to know as well, but I can't seem to get the class help. Okay, so can you do a lesson on punctuation in the Bible? Yes, I can. Actually, I do one, and we actually do it in the back. So that I do not have a problem to where we can do that. And it's very important. And that's the importance of it, and that's where we don't want to be misguided. And it says, I may have missed it. Does the name Enoch mean something? Yes, it actually does. Because Cain also had a son called Enoch. Yeah, that's correct. But Enoch actually has a meaning. Actually, in that Precept Bible you see up there, I actually show you what names mean. That's the thing. Because what we do affiliations. Affiliations just actually showing you what the meaning of things mean in the Bible. So don't let the affiliation word fool you. You know, it says affiliations on there when you go to the site. It says, you know, affiliate. Don't let that fool you. All that's doing is just telling you in their technical way what stuff mean. That's all it is. So when you find out what stuff mean in the Bible, you actually understand the Bible better, because now you can see what it's saying. So besides looking at something and saying, oh, damn, I don't know what that means, and going to a Septuagint and all this stuff, or where they thinking they getting an A, you finding out exactly what's going on. And you can read it verbatim, because below every verse, the precepts are there, and what stuff mean is there. So you can read it and you'll see exactly what it's saying. So now when you read it, you'll know what it's, let me see, I wonder if I can pull this Precept Bible up. I'm going to see if I can do this real quick. And if I can, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And let's see. Now why it's doing that? In all books. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. We might be on to something. Let me pull this up. Yeah, hopefully it don't freeze. And we looking at some parts from the Precept Bible. Let me see something. Let me bring this. 1 second. Okay. So it had to switch over to one because I'm bringing the lettering up really big. But weren't you guys able to see it with the two? So let me bring it down with one taste. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, you guys will see it. Okay, so what happens is this. All right, so now when you look in the Precept Bible, and this is the Precept Study Bible, it says there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, which is a comma. But you see right there, it's a semicolon, and then it says, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men and bare children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. So we show you what giants mean. So you'll see this right below. You don't have to go look somewhere for it. It's right there. So now you know what giants mean. So now what you do when you read the Precept Bible, it says there were giants in those days. So now you see what this means. It's going to say violent tyrants or people of large stature. But based on the full understanding on what the verse is talking about, based even over here, when we go back and we read 4, that's why sometimes it's good to read the chapter once and then go back and read it again once you understand, to put all the wording right. Because sometimes words can have two different meanings. So sometimes it's good to read the whole chapter once, then go back and read it again and put them all in perspective. So it's saying so now we know there were tyrants or violent men in the earth in those days. Semicolon. Change is going to happen. So it says, and also after that, nation, when the sons of God, men calling themselves the sons of God. How do we know this? Sons of God, men calling themselves God. It tells you all this, where they was doing this stuff at. It tells you everywhere where they was doing it. But we do know one thing. When they call themselves the sons of God, we know that it's coming from Genesis chapter 4, verse 26. So, sons of God, men calling themselves sons of God. And you see this all through Job. And then it says, and came into the daughters of men, unholy people, children of Japhet. That's all it's talking about. So now we know what that means. We know where it's coming from. And it says, and bare children, they became mighty men. Men of what? Right there tells you. This is still part of all that. Men of valor or money. They can, some of them can be wealthy and different things, but some men where they can put the smash down on you. What the young kids say, just trying to be young for a minute. in men of renown. What do renown mean? Famous men, rulers and captains. That's all this verse is saying. Why? Because now we're going to look at this. When God saw that the wickedness was great in the earth, and every imagination of thought was only in his heart continually, I tell you what wicked and everything, you will know what everything means. Continually. That means every day. So he said, so what happened? And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth and grieved him to his heart. How do we know what repent means? Because you see the Lord repented. Repent don't mean nothing but remembrance, or remember. So now we know he remembered and it grieved him to his heart. Why? We're going to find out why God did what he did. Verse 7, and the Lord said, I will destroy man. Why? Because he did this. He remembered. He will destroy man that I created from the face of the earth, both man, beasts, and creepy things, and fowls of the air. Why? For it repented me that I made them. It reminded him that it brought him to remember that he had made them. This is all it said. Why? People scared to sit there and say that the Lord repented, but it reminded him of something. So he said, I'm going to take you out. Same as your parents tell you, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. Same thing. Same thing. So this is what a precept study Bible does. It simplifies everything and it shows you, breaks down everything for you. That's what it does. That's why, a lot of people, that's why, I hate it when the people brought that, they started selling that book and they put it online and they were selling the book for $300 and something and which was wrong, but they was actually outselling us, which was crazy within itself. But that is a precept study Bible. So, because in precept study Bibles, in each book, what they do, we show you what everything means, so you have a full understanding on what you see. That's what we do. And then you see not references, you'll see precepts to tie you, to even give you more understanding on what that verse is saying. That's what precepts does. Not like those they're called that, what they call it, precept ministry, where they give you that is what they call that, the exalted Bible, all that silliness. The precept study Bible going to show you exactly what it means. It removes everything out the way and show you exactly what it means. That's why, we have people, they love the book. We have people where they go beat up pastors with. You shouldn't do it, but I do know people do get angry and their pastors did them wrong. So they use the precept study Bible and they literally go beat pastors up with them. And the pastor don't have nothing to stand on, because now you got all the precepts of what you need to do, what you're doing. Technically what happens. So this is the thing, that what you do. So precepts is your key, but affiliations is another key to where now you know what stuff mean. When you know what stuff mean, it's harder to be fooled. Way hard to be fooled. And I'm gonna do this again, but I'm gonna try to keep from going there. I'm gonna try to keep from going there because I show it all the time. But people, y'all gotta come over. Y'all gotta go over to KJBU. I'm going there now. I'm gonna show you this, and hopefully you guys will get this time. And because we actually, because I see one of my moderators, they telling you Lulu, but I'm gonna show you this here, and I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna show it to you. And if you, same thing, how my moderator sit there and said go to Lulu, which is correct. But now, if you go to KJBU, go right here to KJBU, you can go right here. Just go to the resource store, Precept Study Tools, and you see right there, Precept Study Bible, first 5 books. Click right over to Lulu. It's right there. That's all you got to do. Nothing more, nothing less. So it's actually that simple just to get to it. But the main thing is, what it does, it helps remove a lot of falsities from you. That's what it does. So it help you out a great deal. and that's what we do. So we have that one. Then we have the book of Idris, which most people who know me, they know I'm real partial to Idris, but I had a lot of fun doing that. But Idris is the only prophet in the book that actually bridges Old Testament, Apocrypha, New Testament. He's the only one that actually does that. Bridges all together. He's the only one that does that. And he has one. You see him have one-liners, and then he have a paragraph of information. I'm talking paragraph of affiliations, paragraphs of precepts. That's his. So that's why I say, so you go there, you can do that. But then more so, we got classes. You can go over there, register for the online class. You can do a lot of this stuff to learn. And you get in there not to go technically to beat up people, but you want to learn to go in there to really where you have you building yourself up to where now you cannot be fooled at all. I'm talking about, and you can know most people who've been through my classes, once you cannot be fooled, they act different, they walk different. Why? Because now you know how you have them other people talking about, oh yeah, you act different, walk different, but you can still be tore down. When you understand precepts, you're in a whole different world. Why? Because now you can go in that Bible, you know what that Bible is saying. You know what's required of you. When you know what's required of you, now you know when the Most High tell you to come in when the lights come on, now you know when them lights come on, you know what he's talking about. So that's your key. And I was never successful getting into class. Okay, so we're actually running it kind of differently now. So what you need to do is go over there and register over there with KJBU, because now KJBU is completely online. So you can go to KJBU, register, and then from there. But if people register 2 and 3 times, and then they say they still having a hard time, I'm gonna tell you, that's your reason why. Because they ask you to register one time, and I constantly ask you to register one time. And that's what you want to do. So when you do that, you do it. Actually, I see someone talking about second address. Yeah, somebody went to second address, and I don't even want to get. That's a whole nother story. But they went and beat up some. So what we have to remember, we don't supposed to use it to beat people up. We use it for building up our knowledge in the Most High God. That's what we're supposed to be using it for, not to beat up people. But I do know that do happen. But if you're already registered in there, because we have another class that's actually going to come out, I will actually show you this. And what's been happening that we have a lot of people will actually register, but they never actually come into the class. And this is another problem that we have. So this is what we're trying to get away from, because people are sitting on seats and we only have enough seats for so many people when we do when we get into some of these classes. So what you're going to see is this here, and I'm going to show you this one here, to where we're going to be registering for this, because it's not out there yet. So I'm asking you guys not to even send emails for this, and this is actually an announcement. I will just do this as an announcement and be simpler. So let me enlarge this. So basically what's happening is we have a teaching that's actually getting ready to go out, and this is a study that's going to be that you'll be seeing within the next week or two. It is the Bible oracles of sin, which we will be doing. The doctrine and its origins. That's what this teaching is going to be about. You will not see this on YouTube whatsoever. Zoom. This is actually going to be in KJBU. It's going to be directly on their site. So make sure you register and do everything. But if you register, and this is and actually I might need to blow this up some. Let me see. I might need to zoom in a little bit. Let me see. Hopefully we can see what's going on. But it tells you about what's going on in here. But then what we do, it says what you will learn. So you're going to learn the preceptual understanding, which is going to make you even stronger on understanding You'll be able to see sin in the omissions, sin as disobedience. You're going to learn what they are according to Scripture, not what according to Elder Johnson. Everything we do, we have to show you according to precepts and show you how to recognize it in the Bible to where you'll see it according to Scripture. It says effects of inner life, holy living. We got to see this, and you have to see it in the Bible. Involves the body, mankind, and man and woman. So effects of inner life of holy living involves a body, mankind, man or woman. So it don't matter. We show you how this works in the Bible, and you'll see it. You'll see the precepts of it to where you can go out and then you not only can teach others, but you can teach your children how to see it in the Bible. Because once they see it, it'll never go from them. Because they're going to see the precepts of it. And then they can actually put that to real life, actual actions to understand what's happening. History and fall of sin. Most people don't even know this. The history of the fall of sin. Most people don't know what this is. I have to show you what this is. We're going to see it according to precepts. Freedom of choice given to man. This is a dangerous one. This is what's happening. But then we have transgression against light. A big problem. Inwardness in moral law. What is it? Is it there such a law? Prophets, Yahushua, and Paul send a positive force. This is the thing. This is the thing here. Inherently, is passing on physical and mental characteristics genetically from one generation to another. The inheritance of sin and how it continues. We need to know these things. Environment of sin. These are detrimental things you need to understand. Redemption on how it works. So we need to understand how redemption works. Life of Christ, true repentance, true forgiveness. We need to know how this works. This is what you're going to learn in that class. What is the class? Class is free. Now you'll get a workbook for this, but the workbook guarantees you get in the class. The workbook, I believe they have for $15, I think it's $15 or $12, one of the two. And the only reason they switched to that, because the workbook was going to be free. But what happens is we having people who's registering in large amount of numbers, and then they don't show up. So what they're doing, they tying you to the workbook. So if you want to waste $10, $15, then that's what you're going to end up doing. And then what they'll do, they'll pass that to someone else to give them the workbook. Technically what's going to happen. So that's why it says, it's saying, but this is what you will learn in the class. And this class is going to run for 1 month. And once you come out of there, you will be able to recognize sin all day long and understand what it is and how it works. That's what we do. So that look for it, understand what's going on. But most people who saying that they want to register for the class or they want to do this for the class, most people are registered and never show up. We got people right now, I know they're removing people right now who registered for KJBU in there, and guess what? They never logged in. This is the problem that we having. We do have people that logged in. We do have people who actually, I got to be checking some things today, but I do know we have some people who actually answered some of the questions, and I got to go through those, and you guys get a response from that. Now, is this certificate? Now, this doctrine of sin and its origin, that is a certificate class. Meaning what? You will receive a certificate of that. That's just the fact of what goes on. Why? Because it makes sure to where we can be registered on that side, and mainly that's how the school works. You'll get a certificate of it to where later on, you know, if this class ever come back up, you already know, and then we'll know you already had that class. Technically what it does. So, let me see. And let me see. Okay, Genesis 1:27 and Genesis 2:7. And it says, are these events on the same day? No, they're not. People will tell you they are, but they're not. And actually, to show you how they're not, you can even go over there. You can see in Genesis 2:7, you can see Adam and them started doing something, and then he had to take care of another part. No, yeah, I can't take your email. You just send use my email. Just send me your email. I put my email in there. And the registration for the Doctrine of Sin is not up yet. I know it's not up yet. I don't think it'll be going up until later on this week. That's all I know. So, but the main thing is what we want to do is understand all what's going on. So with that, with those classes, and then we have that one, and we are going to do one, and it's going to be a hard class to get in, and we're going to look for people who's really going to be diligent about it, because I am going to be doing a class on Idris. And that's one of my favorite ones I like to do, but I'm going to do one on him. And actually, we're only going to take, I believe, 100 seats. And that's it, because it got to be an open forum. So if it's going to be an open forum, and it won't, these you won't see on YouTube. So with that, we go over there. And actually, there's a couple other things that they have going on that we actually trying to do. But there's a few things that they're trying to get to make sure it happens. And I do know they put up this in a doing class time. Yeah, even if you register and you get in the class, it doesn't even matter. Say if you catch us live or if you catch the recording, because then you can get it on demand. So it wouldn't even matter. But the main thing is, it won't even be over here. So it'll be on demand to where you can go right through it and do everything. You can download it and put it on your phone. You'll be able to do quite a bit of things with it. So say like if you do it, you register for it, that'll allow you still to be in the class. But then what'll happen is, say you can't, the times don't work for you. So you say, well, I just look at it on demand. Then you look at it on demand. But then when you have a question that you might generate a question, then what you have to send the question to me in KJBU, not wait until one of these forums happen like here. You just ask the question back there, hey, I did this, and we can go over it. So you can do that, or then if you need to have a conference with us, we can do a Zoom, and then we can actually talk back and forth. Technically, what happens? So So I want to see anyone else, trying to make sure we got a lot of this stuff taken care of. And hopefully, the same thing with the Book of Jasher. I'm going to go into that one next. And I'm telling you guys, the Most High got me in there washing dishes. I don't like washing dishes, but he tell me to wash dishes, I wash dishes. So, washing dishes, I got to go in there and get that book. So, I got to go get the book. But even though I got the book, so I got to wash the dishes on the Book of Jasher. And again, that's another book that just, it's no words to even put to it. The silliness that's in these books, and people believe them. So, I got to do that one. The Book of Jubilees, as most people sitting there thinking, is something else. I'm talking about, they just pound silliness on top of silliness. The thing is, though, they're trying to pull you from the truth. So that's what you watch. So that's the same thing. So what they're saying is, those are mixing books. They were actually missing. Those are just false books. Because what they're doing, they're challenging King James. Because King James, you got to remember, he commissioned them to translate the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. He commissioned them to do this. They saying they got better to where, we're going to tell you what, he didn't do these, so we going to do these too. No, because they was never part of anything. So now you have a man saying they better than what it was back then. They got it better now. The further you go away from an event, the harder it is to come to a truth. So when you have one who made and had commissioned the book all that time ago, you stay with that book. If you notice, King James Bible don't ever change. It stays the same. But you have other people whose books has changed where they saying they got better material, they got better this, they got better that. So if they got better things today to pull this information, why isn't it that when they have murders and everything go on, they haven't found things to which they can actually figure those out? Why haven't we go back in the early 1920s, people, cancer was in 1 out of 100 people. And then how is it that technology in cars in the 20s was one way, and now in the year 2000, in these years, you got cars doing everything. But with cancer, now is 1 out of 3. It went backwards. Why? They playing illusions with your mind. This is why I say that's why it's so important. So let's see. I think we got everybody and all those questions answered. So same thing tomorrow. We're going to be going through the book of Romans. We're going to kick that back up. We're going to be going through there. We're going to be taking care of a lot of stuff within that book, and then from that part, we'll be picking that back up on this coming Wednesday, where we'll be going right back through our Israelite weekly study. So hopefully you guys really go back through this, look at it, understand what the book of Enoch is about. It's a completely false book. And hopefully the people that teach it, hopefully you guys, if you want to surf around somewhere else, but stop supporting silliness, because as long as you support that silliness is going to continue. So that's all I ask. So with that, hopefully that each and every one of you guys got an understanding from what was going on, and we continue in this. And as we continue, I ask you, and same with them, when you sit there and you want to see the truth, understand what the truth is and what it's about. So I always say the precepts is king. So with that, I bid to each and every person,